Hey, what is going on, everybody? Hope you are doing all right. It's 4 o'clock here on the East Coast. It's time for a show. My name is Jay Chains. Let's get going. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you smash the like button or hit the X or hit the heart if you are watching on X. My goodness. Definitely, that is the right thing to do. Not only that, it helps me out, but it helps you out. It's like a reward for yourself. Because, look, you could be doing anything in the world, but you're here hanging out. We're going to talk about some crypto. We're going to get into some news. We are going to look at some charts, look at some meme coins, have some fun. But really quick, shout out to the chat. What is up? Blocky getting the gold medal, my guy. 6 a.m. Dougie Fresh, my guy, getting the silver. And Leslie Collins, what is up, fam? Picking up with the bronze. There it is. There's your medals today, if anybody cares. I know some people do, and I love it. I love the usually the competitive nature that it is the YouTube chat. So, Bobby Ba, yo, what's up? What's up, Bobby Ba? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing all right. 4 o'clock Taco Tuesday. Are you guys having tacos? Went to the store, got a pork tenderloin, and we are going to be pressure cooking that sucker and making some pulled pork tacos. So I know it's not the right thing. Wasn't on the smoker all day. We didn't do it right. I don't care. We're doing it. Absolutely. Hot dogs from Bobby Ba. There you go. So Bobby Ba, here we go. So if it was you who brought it to our attention yesterday, the J1T FYI, that's the coin that had like the 200 and something $1,000 market cap, right? And so we marked this thing out, and we're gonna look at this thing in a little bit. Hey, Carmen Crypto, what's up, fam? Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. So we are gonna look at this a little bit later when we get to DEX tools. But I will tell you, here's the deal. $218,000 was what this price tag was yesterday when we looked at it on the show. I looked at it again yesterday afternoon at 239,000, and I threw a couple Solana at it, and it is currently at 270,000. So, say for instance you hogged in, you just aped in during the show, you'd be up 23%. Where I got in yesterday afternoon, I am up 12%. So, shout out to Bobby Bob bringing that one. I thought that, listen, this thing is on a tear, and so we're gonna play this thing with some fun because look, it's only a $270,000 market cap. I know liquidity is low, but it looks like we got. Well, we'll look at all this stuff later. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. You put it into the chat, and I started jumping ahead. So we'll definitely keep going. Definitely want to maybe even get them on a chat if interested. I know that there was we had some tweet communication yesterday between myself and then the account. So if we want to get them on, or if we want to do a pre-recorded interview and talk about kind of the project, the attention, any planned. What's happening with it. Maybe it's a little bit inside information, not like in a bad way, but just from the dev. We'll see what we can do. So that's something we looked at yesterday. We will look at it again. Hey, don't be sorry, Bobby Ba. Don't be sorry. We're up. If you're up from the show, great. If you're up at any point, great. It's up to 270,000 per coin. There's only one of them. It's crazy. I know. It's fun. So never risk more than you can afford to lose. This we're just having a little bit of fun with. So, all right, guys, make sure that you smash the like button. Let's get into what we came here for, even though that was crypto. I will say, I do want to make sure that we get this thing rolling. Now, yesterday was fun. It was green and all. But as what's an expression you'd want to use there? I don't know. As the day turns or whatever. So we are in the evening now, but the market is down almost 3% right now. We have got a little bit of things shaken up. So the market down almost, like I said, 3%. So 2.69% to be exact. The market's at 2.68 trillion. The volume, I don't see that. Oh, somehow we're on like mobile mode. Let me stretch it out a little bit more and see if we get. That's interesting. All the stuff at the top that we normally look at. Oh, no, here it is. We just had it covered up. Gwei at 0.6. You got the Bitcoin at a 60% dominance. We'll look at it on TradingView. We'll see what it says there. It's always a little different. It's probably 62. I'll give you the inside scoop. So 61.5 over on TradingView. We'll look at that when we look at the charts, though, in a little bit. And then what else do we like to look at? Fear and Greed Index to 25. Let's click in on it and see. You know, yesterday we were at 22. So, hey, are we making that turn? Last week we were extreme fear. This week we're fear. I know it's nothing to write home about, but at the end of the day, we are doing better. And if we look at some charts, it does look like potentially, you know, maybe we bottomed out. I know a lot of people are just calling for, you know, the market to get slaughtered. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go back here. Trending, Pi was trending, but what I noticed when I was looking at CoinMarketCap earlier today, it is not number 11 today. It is number 15. So we'll look at this in just 1 second here. Let's go down the list. Usually we'll start with Bitcoin, the king, number 1, market cap at 1.6 trillion, but 82,224. It is down 1% on the week. 2.4 on the day. You got Ethereum at 1900. I scaled out of Ethereum, all of it completely right now. I don't want to be in Ethereum. I'm either going to put it into something else or just keep it in dry powder right now. But every bit of Ethereum I've got, with the exception of some gas, both on base, which you just need a couple pennies anyway, and then the ERC20 version, just, you know, like $100 or whatever, just so I have some gas if I got to make some transactions or whatever. But I'm out on ETH right now, totally out, just for now. You got XRP 226 down almost 4% on the day, 3% up on the week though. BNB 631 down in the last hour, 0.21%. Ooh, shaking things up, but it's up almost 14% on the week. You got Solana down to 124. It is down 4% today. Let's check this though. We do have this thing going now. I have to change this, and let's just see where we are now, because I can put this to bed now. Now that we know, because we've scaled out of our Ethereum, so we've gotten out of our Solana, we've gotten out of our Ethereum. The Ethereum was the better thing. So at this point, remember, we swapped 54 Solana for 3.74 ETH. That was 10K at the time, 7,100 in Ethereum, 6,700 in Solana. I know that I got like a little bit more than that because I did this yesterday. So a little bit more than that before the dump yesterday. So several percent more than that. So we'll look at all the full numbers. I'm actually, so I was talking to somebody and something, let me just bring this up here. Something I want to do, and this should happen before AJ leaves, because you know, when the synergy is just different, and we can just figure out a way to do this while we're in the same area. But I really want, you know, for the sake of like a fun rate my portfolio, I want to open my portfolio to AJ to rate. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We had talked about a lot of things when we were working at the office together. You know, we were just right across the hallway from each other. You know, we would talk about things, and I would bounce some things off of him with my portfolio, but never just kind of like, this is what I've got. You know, what do you think? This is what I'm looking for, just like what he does, right? And so I think we can make a fun video of that while he's still in town. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, you know, with some of these moves that I'm making, again, with keeping in dry powder right now, I think is probably a good thing. There's just a lot of questions, right? A lot of people are thinking that we are going to just get nuked because of the entire market's getting nuked. But a lot of people are thinking that, hey, this could be the turnaround, the pivot, right? It's always like the darkest right before the storm, and the storm being what we're looking for is the pump, but at least some relief. Now, this isn't going to be the end all be all, but at least some relief, because we've just been on a downward slide, as you guys know, since December. So as that goes. All right, where do we leave off? Dogecoin, maybe number 8, down 5% today. Up to, let's see, 16 cents. It's up percent on the week. There you go. Cardano, 69.5 cents, down 4% on the week and the day, basically. And then Tron rounding out your 10, up 5%. Always weird how things are dumping, but Tron's up for some reason. I don't know. The stable coins, a blessing for a parking spot. Absolutely, Bobby Ba. Stable coins definitely help you out. And I'm glad that I did it yesterday too, knowing that today's down. Now, we just got to pay attention. And when we I'll look at, you know, the charts after the show and tonight and all that stuff, because I've got to make some big decisions overall about what I want to do. But really to determine, you know, do we want to change some more things and add some more stable? Like I was talking to, I was actually talking to my mom about this before, and she's like, so what are you going to do? And I said, well, you know, like I sold my Ethereum, and my mom, she's holds. She's not selling until we get to like the peak, and then, you know, then we'll stable her off and then get ready for the bear market to rebuy back in. But about to short squeeze, probably, Corey, you're right. You're probably right. It's good to see you. Shout out to my guy, Corey. Make sure that you give Coach Corey, Captain Crunch, a follow over on X. All right. What else? Oh, 15. So it's not. It's number 16. If we pop back over here to Coin Market Cap, let's look at, we got through our 10. Chainlink is at $13. We like that. Let's look at our losers. But I did want to point out Pi coming in at 16, man. That thing has just been hanging tough at the number 11 spot. But it is, there we go. Maybe this is the beginning of the end for it. Anything pumping? Let's see. Nah, no binary X for me. I am non-binary X. I'm not into that. Even though it's up 10%, almost 67% on the week. Pancake Swap, nah, I'm not into that. Dexy, nope. Tron, nope. Big Get, nope. Toncoin. Those are our pumpers. But we like losers. But I'm not interested in the pie. I got to do a deep dive more into that. So really, Bearish Chain, no thank you. So Lestia, at one time I was into that. An 8% potential little gimme would be nice, but no, I'm okay with that for now. No Pepe, no Bonk, no Chronos, no Bit Tensors. All right. Anything still down in the week we want to look at? Pi, 20%. If you're into Pi and you need to, I don't know if you've been mining it for the last 6 years and you need some more, it's down 20%. There you go. I'm just not into that. Movement, nah. Athena, no. Bit Tensor, Algorand. Down to 18 cents. Isn't like 16 the number. We'll see if this thing keeps sliding. I've actually got it. I know we've got it listed on TradingView, so we'll take a look at it and see if we can project that thing hitting 16. Because I feel like the number that I always hear AJ say, like that's one of the magic numbers is 16. So that's hopefully, you know, lift off so we can get in at 16 and watch it lift back up. That's really it. I mean, these are just like slow bleeders for this week down single digits. So nothing else to look at. All right. I think that's about it. What is up, family? Let's take a look at the chat here. Bobby Ba, if doing base to stable or anything like that, you can go multi-chain with utility, cheapest and fastest way to go, all audited contracts. I like base, honestly. So I have really started using the Coinbase app. And actually, when I was buying those Supreme Kongs over the weekend, one of them I bought with straight ERC20 ETH, but the other one I actually was able to, like when I went into OpenSea with it, I just, you know, it clicked like, you know, buy it, you know, purchase cross chain, so I could use like the ETH on the base, and then boom, and it might cost me a couple bucks or whatever extra, but at the end of the day, like it was still like a floor one, and it was way below what everything else was, and it is now. So I got a smoking deal on it, so not really worried about it at all. So base, love base. Blocky, welcome back, sir. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, and it's super fast, super cheap. I mean, like, I think transactions are like a penny, right? That's all they are on base is a penny. So, you know, you basically, as long as you know what you're doing, and you know, you can have some fun, you can play with memes, you can buy some real coins, you can do some NFT stuff, and it's, you know, it works out, man. And what's cool about it, I don't know this, and you guys correct me if you have like a Coinbase custody account, you know, like a Coinbase, not your keys, not your cheese. They have, you know, the custody of it. That's what I mean. If you have one of those and the Coinbase wallet, can you just send it straight from the Coinbase to the one that you control where you have the keys? Let me know if you got that in the chat, if you understand what I'm saying. Boom, doom. It's where you pull it money where it's the problem. Coinbase, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely switch them between. So that I think is a really good selling point. And listen, base is going to be, when we get to the retail aspect later in the year, base is going to deploy a really big push on this whole retail aspect. And I think they're going to capture a really big market share. And it's Solana right now, but Solana's doing a good job of like muddying its water, and people are going to come in. They're not going to really want to deal with that because they're going to be like, oh, I heard about that. Yeah, but I just want like something that's a little bit better, a little bit, a little bit more. I'm not going to say regulated. That's not the right word I'm looking for. So cross-chain portal. Phantom has base now. Exactly. Like the ecosystem is going to grow and grow and grow. All right, let's get into our headlines here, guys. Appreciate you being here. Make sure that you smash that like button. You know the drill. You know the drill. All right, let's go, y'all. Yeah, Not Funny Man says, I get a lot of airdrops on base, just random crap. Yeah, that's really interesting. Like if you go, I've got, you set up a couple extra wallets, and the ones that, you kind of do like the bulk of your business with, I guess, if you will, and you look in your crypto. Yeah, you get like, that list of all those just absolute junk coins that, dude, it was funny. I had one actually, it was several weeks ago, and it must have been a honeypot, and it was like in my wallet, and then all of a sudden it was worth like thousands of dollars, and I was like, oh shit, what is this? And I looked at it, and obviously it had all the red flags when you go onto the sites, and so you can't do anything with it. But it ended up within like a couple hours, it went from being like worth like thousands of dollars to like less than a penny. And so you're like, okay, cool. Like that was never going to actually be anything anyway. So, all right, let's go. First article: XRP versus SEC versus Ripple, how the lawsuit could be over in just days. My goodness. Legal expert has outlined how the SEC lawsuit against Ripple over XRP could end within days, but a major hurdle navigating the court's injunction may complicate the resolution. Let's see here. Legal expert Jeremy Hogan has weighed in on speculation surrounding the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission against Ripple, their lawsuit. This came from Ellie Tourette, who's said it's in the process of wrapping up, could be over soon. The quote from Hogan said, the only way the case could be over soon is if Ripple and the SEC reach a private settlement agreement, which would be vary from judgment, dismiss the appeal, and then simply never take the terms of the settlement agreement back to the trial court to be ratified. However, he noted a major challenge, specifically court's injunction against Ripple. Assuming the injunction is the sticking point, the SEC would have to agree not to enforce the court's injunction. I have a hard time believing the SEC would agree to that. I have a feeling that, like it's over. This is just like they have to appeal it, right? And I believe April, what's the date? 16th? Is it in here? Let's look here. XRP date. I spelled appeal wrong. April 6th. April 16th. Yeah, so that's right. Ripple faces an April 16th deadline to file its appeal. Replies, speculation grows over the SEC withdrawal after leadership changes. XRP dropped 4%, underperforming the broader crypto market as traders await clarity on the SEC's appeal strategy. There you go. There's I believe, so that's from a news article. It sounded like that was an AI-driven thing, but the lawyers will loosen it all. I mean, I think here's the deal, is that we know that the SEC has walked away from just about everything. The narrative has changed, their direction has changed, the focus and how they enforce, and literally everything from the top down, inside out, whatever, the janitor's closet is changing at the SEC. And Ripple, they were very clear early on this year that, they were still doing business throughout last year before all of this, while this was all still going on, because they knew it was all bullshit. This is all just, I think, legalese and formalities, right? It has to be at this point, because the whole idea of them doing business, and you've heard me say this before, in the last 6 weeks of 2024, they did more business. Ripple did more business here in the United States than they did in the prior 6 months. That was in the last 6 weeks, knowing what was happening, right? And so I think the writing is on the wall. Let's not forget that. I know that, some people really think $4 and Corey, what did you say? If you're still in the chat, $4.80 is your top. What I need to do, because I told you I was going to, was it Ripple or was it ONDO? I think whatever it was, we got to figure it out. And we got to put that whole thing in there. Army Piper, what's up? Oh, shit. You guys, were you coming on today? Yes. All right. Let me do this. Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring you on here for the second half of the show. Let me, XRP 40 max. That's what I thought. Hey, dude. Oh, it's next week. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I thought that I had totally messed that up. Excelente. Looking forward to that, brother. All right, so XRP 480 max, I got to tell you, and this is where I think there is maybe a difference of opinion and why this is probably a really good thing, right? There are people who will say, appreciate you. There are people here that will, and not just like Corey in this chat, but I think altogether that would say that, you know, everything is, you know, you live and breathe by the chart. And I feel like to some extent there's some really good validity to that. But ultimately the narrative is changing, and I feel like this is we're about to really hit uncharted waters, man, in like a whole nother way, And you know, you can only chart as much as you know and as much as like what you're being shown there, and like, you know, what history shows you. But the whole idea of what we're looking at now, remember, like we're basing crypto on standard charting procedures of things that have been around, right? If the idea of what we chart and patterns are based on, you know, the stock market patterns and charts that we've been, you know, for several decades or whatever now, for most part, but that's maybe where most people got their start, other people in crypto, but the whole idea of crypto is so new, right? And I know we've gone through several phases, but let's think about what's happening on the global scale of Bitcoin, right? And I understand that, you know, 150,000. I was always 330 was that number that stuck in my head for whatever reason. And people said that I'm crazy, and I don't care. It's fine. One thing that we have to remember is that it's not just about the charts. And so if you think about things on a narrative level, and at some point we have to, it's an emerging market. Things are being created. The plane is being built as it's flying, kind of thing, right? In some way. But like now that we are starting to see a global push towards Bitcoin, towards blockchain adoption, towards this acceptance, and this what will be, you know, the nuclear arms race is going to be the stockpile of who can get the most Bitcoin. I've got an article that says Trump administration eyes massive Bitcoin accumulation. And that's from his executive director, Bo Hines, right? The whole idea of where this is going is bigger than the charts. It has to be. It really has to be. Like some of the growth that's projected in some of these ecosystems, there's no way that you could say, I'm going to limit it that at $4.80. That doesn't make sense, especially if Ripple successfully positions itself to pretty much be the settlement layer anywhere in the world. I mean, the whole idea of integrating the RLUSD stablecoin, that thing now makes Ripple deflationary to some extent, right? In a pretty good way. That's massive. Things can change. Like XRP could go way higher, and I'm not of the camp that says $100 or $1,000. As much as I love that, we're just totally smoking opium, man. You want to hit $10 by Christmas? I get, for the sake of excitement and a bet. Yeah, is it far out there at this point? I don't know. XRP's at 225. We're a quarter of the way there. The thing's got a 4x between now and Christmas. That's really nothing. Bobby Bob, there you go, dog. There you go. Anybody else? All right, let me see what the chat is saying. Jerry Mandarin. What's up, Jerry? That reminds me, I've got to create my Only Feats character, Harry Marinera. I don't know why Jerry Mandarin made me think of Harry Marinera, but it did. Bitcoin isn't acting like the safe haven we hoped for. It's another type of money printer for institutions. Right now, it's being manipulated 100%. But knowing what you know, you already know half the battle, brother. You know that it's a game. Win it. You know what they're doing. They're sinking it. When you find the bottom, buy it. But I'm with you. We've given up. We've given up control. When I got into the space in 2017, it was very clear that the whole narrative was, we need big money to come in and pump our bags. And one of my things that I've always said, no, man, you don't really want them here. Like, look what they did to the traditional financial system. They screwed that up. What do you think they can do here? Like, we don't really want that. I get it. We want our bags to pump, but that's not really what we wanted. We got, no matter what, it was going to happen, right? Like, we went from a movement to an industry to now we're part of the global financial ecosystem. So it was going to happen one way or the other. We've lost control. Big money is here. We understand that the big money and what they do now, they are going to drop the price. It sounds like that's what the plan is, right? Drop the price, load up, and then go. So just play the game. Once we connect it to a debit card, we're all going to see huge, huge gains. Ripple will all be government soon. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens with all of that. I feel like they are positioning themselves. Like and I've got to do some new research on all of this, right? I've got to do research on the whole idea because I feel like now everything is it's just so skewed in my mind, what I was thinking and what I was hearing about BRICS and everything. And anyway, so now I've got to do some more research into kind of the whole idea of, are they well connected on that side? Because that was what I was hearing was when I say position on both sides of the world, that no matter if you were, involved in the BRICS nation or if you were part of the IMF or right. And so that pretty much settles transactions anywhere throughout the world, depending on who you're working with, that XRP and Ripple, that they were embedded into those ecosystems either way. So no matter what, like you could win. Now we know globally, domestically here in the United States, you got Bank of America using 100% of internal transactions using XRP technology. Anyway, Bitcoin Henry, what's up, brother? Thoughts with Jay Chains? Oh, man. Am I buying the B3? No, I have not yet, man. I do have some base. I've got some things to play on base, but I do not have. We can look at that chart later. I don't see why we wouldn't want to do that. Let me add it in here. B3 base USDC. Spot crypto. All right, let me add that onto our. There we go. All right, so when we get over to the charts a little bit here, that is something that we are going to take a look at. All right, I appreciate you guys being here. Damn, quite a few of you. Thank you so much. Go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you guys are giving the follow there. You can follow on X. Also here, actually, I say smash, but I mean to say mash the like. And in case you don't know why, perfect timing. It is 4:30. I do appreciate you guys being here. Quick shout out and a word from my homie.
Oh, Dad, how about this one?
Mash that like button. Sometimes she comes in here. She's out playing with some friends in the neighborhood. It is a beautiful afternoon here in Northwest Georgia. So the kids are out. I think it might be spring breaker or something, but they are all out and about, or maybe not. I'm not sure, but they're all out and about playing in the hood, hanging out, riding with chalk, riding bikes and scooters, having a good time. So kids will be kids, having fun. Love that. Shout out to all the crypto parents out there. You guys holding down the fort. Let's go. We know how much fun that is. What's up in the chat? Diamond D, am I still boxing? that's the plan. I got a few things to rehab and get fixed up. My shoulder and my hip, working on them. Was actually at the gym today. So working on some things. Got to make sure we get healed up. But the plan is to get back in there. I want to do 2 boxing and then 1 more KC. It's funny, I actually had a conversation with Only LARPing recently. We had a conversation about getting back in the pit. I really think, honestly, so I'll be 43 next month. So I feel like this, I've got one, the boxing, we'll see how long I can do that. That is a gentleman's sport. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. My nose has already been broken. Every time I get punched, it's just going to fucking open up and bleed. I don't care. It doesn't hurt. That's not a big deal to me. So I don't care about that. The MMA shit is a little bit more wild. It's a little bit more crazy. So I probably got 1 more of those in me. So we'll figure that out. I feel like it might be Harley. We're kind of like, building up this little beef or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. And at the end of the day, like, he'll get smoked out in a fight. Like, he's way too stiff and rigid. He's just like, ugh, and I'm just, I'll just pop. By the time I'm ready to do that, I'll knock him out so fast. He got lucky against Toki. I will tell him that. He got lucky against Toki. He kind of popped him towards the side of the head. Toki kind of backed off thinking, he's like, whoa, that hit me in the back of the head. And then he just kind of went in and knocked him out, and the ref stopped that one quick. But his last fight, man, against that Australian dude, he got smoked up pretty quick. So I will say. Harley, watch out, brother. I'll be fast like that Australian dude. He'll be like, ooh, and I'll be like, pop. All right. Anyway. Ellie, what is up, Ellie? How are you? 43 is the new 33. You darn right. I am aging like a fine Cabernet. That is very, very, I have hardly any gray hair, which is wonderful. I have it in the right spots, just like right here on both sides. It's hard to see with the lights, but that's about it. And I got two things right here. I call them my snake fangs. They're usually right here in the chin of my beard. World, bro, even when you win, you lose 100%. But even when you lose, you win because you're still you get healthy as fuck to go do that stuff. It's wild, right? Like, yeah, I don't mind it at all. Like, it's cool. It's actually like one of the coolest opportunities that I've ever had within like this whole being a crypto guy is if I want to go like professionally fight somebody, I can do that. It is, to me, like it's amazing, and I love the opportunity. I'm not afraid of it. I, in fact, actually really enjoy it. The training is some of the best stuff I've ever done in my entire life. Heck the snack, my guy. Poof, poof, poof. Heck the snack, there he is. We got the crew in the house today. I appreciate you guys. Smash the like button, do the things, tell your friends. All right. Here we go. We got to get into this article. We are like way behind schedule today. Sort of, not really, but sort of. Trump administration. We got to share this tab. There you go. Trump administration eyes massive Bitcoin accumulation. I told you this earlier. This is like, you hear the narrative, you hear the news, you hear all this shit, and you can't help but be like so freaking bullish. You cannot help but be bullish AF. But then you see like the charts and you're like, damn, dude, what are we going down for? But here we go. At the Digital Asset Summit in New York, President Trump's executive director on digital assets, Bo Hines, made a bold declaration. The United States wants as much Bitcoin as we can get. I wonder what they actually said, why they put it in this here. BTC, maybe? Let's see. The Trump administration doubling down on their Bitcoin strategy. Love to see that. Bo Hines, my guy. I think it's high time that our president started accumulating assets for the American people, which is what President Trump is doing rather than taking it away, Hines said. He went on a reveal that at President Trump's first ever digital asset summit at the White House, discussions centered around ways of acquiring more Bitcoin in budget neutral ways. Okay. What does this say? Just in President Trump, executive director on digital assets, we talked about ways of acquiring more Bitcoin on budget neutral ways. We're going to buy the Bitcoin the cheapest. We're going to do it the best. We're going to take the price. We're going to make it all the way cheap and buy it for the best price ever and make the most money. I've never done a trumpet. That was not the best, but probably not the worst, but definitely not the best. So apologies if you hated it. We decided that Bitcoin is scarce, it's valuable, and that it's strategic for the United States to hold on to this as a long-term reserve asset. Man, we've come a long way. We've come a long way in crypto. That's interesting to think that our government wants as much of it as they can get, or at least our president wants as much of it as they can get for our country as a reserve asset. Boom. Let's go. All right. There's that article. We got 2 more. I got 4 total today. I only told you about 3 of them. And then I got a sneak attack on the 4th one. We're going to talk shit about strategy, about Michael Saylor. Athena, Securitize, unite to launch the Converge, a blockchain bridging TradFi and DeFi. And this is in our tokenization news. You guys know that we love RWAs here. I'm a big ONDO fan. However, nothing in the ONDO finance news, but we got at least some tokenization news. So I think that's the plan, is every day we're going to talk about something in tokenization. Hopefully most of the time, it'll be about ONDO, because you know we're ONDO bulls. Not unreasonable, but we are ONDO bulls. I definitely think in our immediate future, $5 is a great target. I know that we got a lot of things to get over, but in this year, $15 is my target. And currently, ONDO is 80 cents, something like that. Let's see, what is it? 81 and a half cents. So it's going to have a big year for ONDO. All right, so back to our tokenization news here. Athena Labs, now they are the protocol that's behind the USDE stablecoin, and Securitize, now they are a market leader in tokenization assets. They have announced a partnership to launch Converge, a new blockchain network designed to serve as a settlement layer for both traditional finance and decentralized finance, TradFi, DeFi. Boom. We want to create a unified environment where institutional capital can seamlessly interact with crypto native products. Boom. That's what everybody wants. TradFi and DeFi. Their vision is to provide the first purpose-built settlement layer where TradFi will merge with DeFi centered on USDE and USDTB and secured by ENA. Ooh, what's ENA? I need some ENA. Ooh, can we get some ENA? Is it up here? That's Athena, right? Yeah. Where are we getting that? Where are we getting that? 36 cents. What is the all-time high here? Let's see. Had a nice little pump originally back in early, about a year ago now. So this thing came up about a year ago. It has got a fully... let's see, a $1.16 billion market cap. It is ranked number 60. Okay. Let's take a look at their website, shall we? What? Before we do that, let's take a look at. We can get it on Binance, Bybit. Which, by the way, I had found an old phone that had the 2-factor authenticator that got me into my OG Binance account a couple months ago, and I think I got like $5 in. Let's see. So it would make sense if it's BNB, but I think it's something like way more obscure, like Ethereum Cash. I know that I have Ethereum Cash on an old wallet. It's not that. It's something crazy, man. We'll just say that it's BNB coin, but it's definitely not. It's something like, damn, been a while since you heard that. And it's like an Ethereum Cash kind of thing. All right. Circulating supply, 3.2 billion out of 15 billion. So we've only got, listen, I don't judge. I know that this is an Arthur Hayes project, Athena? I did not know that. Okay. Let's take a look at their website now. Synthetic dollar with internet native yield. Do we have... Do we have like a team page? Not there. Not on the ecosystem. What about on the home page? Ellie asking, anything new in the market? Any catalyst coming up? I mean, so tomorrow we've got a Fed meeting, but let's go to FedWatch. This thing went from 97% of standing still to 99%. So as you can see right there, we got a meeting tomorrow afternoon, 99 cent. However, did someone say May we should start to see a little bit of a cut ski, but things holding tight tomorrow. So not going to be that. Probably nothing burger. You're right. I mean, they're going to have to like come up with, a pandemic or something. I don't know. A crypto pandemic. Let's make it a white swan. Can we have a white instead of a black swan so that it's like a bad thing? Can we have like a white swan? And I'm not, doesn't mean that like I like that. Just like make it good. A positive black swan. Boring. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, fam. I feel you on that. All right. So back here, Athena. So we can get it on Binance. You can get it on Bybit. You can get it on Uniswap. So all our ETH friends, there you go. Let's do lockdowns again. That sounds. We never did lock. I lived in Texas. We didn't do lockdowns in Texas. We lived a normal life. Some places did not, and I get it. And things were different. I get it. But in where I lived in Texas, man, we just kind of did the normal, which was good. Yeah, lockdowns and stimmies. Hey, we need them lockdowns and stimmies. No, I don't want any of those. Well, stimmies, man, I think that pumps the market, right? So let's take some stimmies. Stimmies, but no lockdowns. All right. Last article. Analyst warns MicroStrategy's $500 million Bitcoin buy could bring the next bear market. Michael Saylor's plan to offer stocks in order to acquire more Bitcoin has not gone down well with the crypto community. He's already done this, and now he's going to open $500 million more by ordering $5 million. Hates me. Welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know why my camera. No sound either. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? What? No sound. Let's see. Should be good to go. Okay. We're back. Thank you. You gotta love how that happens. That's me rugging my own show so that I can steal my own channel. That's how I roll, baby. Gangster like that. Mafia like that. I steal my own channel like that. Boom. We're back. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you smash that like button. All right, let's look at some charts. We're done with that. MicroStrategy, like, here's the deal. They bought like $1 million worth of Bitcoin the other day. He knows that he's got to, optics-wise, he's got to keep buying in order to people to stop fudding him. But ultimately creating another $500 million out of thin air by creating more stock. That's what he did the last time. And now, whatever. I don't think he's the best thing for Bitcoin. I don't think he's the best thing for crypto, but at the end of the day, he's who we got. So we'll take him, I suppose. Gangsta chains. Let's get it. I got to start wearing my chains again because, you know, the gangsters, we wear our chains. Isn't it a gray rhino for something that we think might happen, but we aren't sure when or what the damage will cause? Oh, instead of a black swan, we'll call it a gray rhino because we're like, hey, maybe positive, maybe negative. Got it. Gray rhino. All right, here we go. Here is, what chart is this? Let's start with this one. Let's look at the total chart. Look at this. Oh, God. We're about to have a death cross, aren't we? That's no bueno. I was hoping that, you know, this is the daily, so we'll see what happens, but we're getting closer and closer. We are 5% away. 5% away. So this is the total crypto market cap. This is everything, man. This is the one that includes Bitcoin. This is the one that includes them all, man. And so this is at 2.64 trillion. When in doubt, zoom out, right? And I will tell you that, you know, it does look like, unfortunately, we are going to continue to go down. Now, I would say, when in doubt, zoom out, right? Here we go. We've touched this. That's where we are right here. We are at our previous high back at the beginning of February. So about a year ago, right? This is about a year ago, maybe a little bit sooner when this all started here. Man, there's a lot of these things. It's so funny. It's like we have reversed an entire year. Now, I would say our saving grace is that we have kind of bounced off of here. Remember, this is the weekly chart. So, yeah, we've got a little wick down here, but for the most part, you know, we've hung tight right here. So I've maybe the damage is done. We are, you know, going to start moving up from here. You know, we're on a local uptrend. I know, again, these are the weeklies, so we'll leave these two here and we'll move this into the daily and we'll see how they look now. It just needs to pump the break resistance. I understand. You know, here we go. You know, our local uptrend is definitely a little bit different on the on the daily than the weekly for sure. But you get the point, right? And that has been, you know, the last several days we are you know, moving around a little bit and to we'll call it a positive direction. We'll call it up and to the right. You know, the last couple of days come back down, but let's look at the others. This is one of my favorites. This is altcoin season. Everybody wants to know when altcoin season, because most people, you know, again, the total chart has Bitcoin in it. And unless you got Bitcoin, which I know most of you do, but you don't have a lot of it because that's not the coin that, you know, that you want. You're going to need more of this. You're going to need a stronger push on this chart right here. This is the others. This is the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. So no Bitcoin, Ethereum, no XRP, no stable coins, no Solana, no none of that. It starts with, well, it started with Pi up until today. Now, what is our number 10? Or number 11, excuse me. Number 11 is Toncoin, or this Eunice said Leo. What is this? We're going to have to look at this now. This Eunice said Leo, number 11. Delivering financial freedom, the world's leading digital asset exchange, your assets, your choices, our technology. Okay. This is one of those fun stumbles. And it's probably been here for a while. I just never looked at it, right? Within the top there. I like it. All right, we're gonna keep that on our records there. We're gonna pay attention to that one. All right, let's change gears. Let's see, Bitcoin. Don't care about that right now because let's look at our. We're not trading Bitcoin right now. We are going to be trading very soon. I've got a big announcement coming out probably in the next couple days. Obviously, you guys, if you know what that means, we'll start doing some more trading. We'll do some live trading here. We'll talk about some stuff on the morning show. We'll have integrations with that. So get ready. Blocky, I appreciate you, brother. Have yourself a good night. Let's chat soon. I want to make sure that you know about some of the features here in StreamYard. So. All right, let's go. ONDO still falling, man. 81 cents. I was talking to someone today, and they had asked me, said, at what point do you buy ONDO? And I said, well, to be perfectly honest with you, like below $1. Like honestly, below $1. That to me is the threshold. Anything below $1 of ONDO, you're getting a gift. And so at 81 cents, there you go. There is your gift. And the whole idea of, will this thing go down lower? Potentially. I mean, we're still in a drop. Our previous zones that we've got down here, we can move this thing up since we're on the weekly. We'll move this thing up here, and we'll set an alarm here at 57 cents. If this alarm goes off at 57 cents, remember, we've had a lot of ones before. This one's going to say, buy the fucking dip. Because if 54 cents, is it 54 or 56? 57 is somewhere at the 57 range. So when this alarm triggers, because that has been our bottom activity throughout most of 2024, I would hope that is the lowest that we would go. I hope that we don't go any lower than we have already. I think when we look at this weekly chart, when we hit 73 cents, that's good enough for me, man. That's good enough for me. That's actually like 72 is where I did most of my buying originally throughout like this phase right here, right? Well, probably actually. We started talking about ONDO in the beginning of the year. And then, so it was probably, we did a buy here. We did, this is ONDO. We bought ONDO several times throughout the year. We bought, the top up here when it got up to, a few times, smaller buys, but our bulk buys were down here. And then, throughout the year in 2024. And those are one that was funny. I was asking, and someone was saying, well, are you gonna potentially, get out of it, whatever. I said, no, to be perfectly honest with you, ONDO is the one that I honestly have. Modern Canadian, Mike, you are absolutely right. I'm gonna put you up on the screen for that one. That's our quote of the day. Dips are for buying, 100%. That whole thing has really built the bag that I have for this. That again, when I talk about this, and it had gotten, it's funny, at one point, especially during the pump, like it had gotten out of control, where like my portfolio was showing an astronomical number of percentage wise of ONDO, and I thought to myself, damn, like that is not good. Like that is just way too high. Like I know that distribution is bad. And come to find out, things leveled off, which is good. So that percentage came down, but come to find out, what I did throughout the year was when I consolidated, you talk about distribution is bad. I was over distributed. I had 22 coins. I since have brought down, and I've got to do a new evaluation of this. But just so you guys understand, I went from 22 coins to about 9 or 10. And I feel